All right, it's Juneteenth. It's a holiday for us, and we decided to do some jeeping. Let me turn this around, and we're at some roads up in Brevard, North Carolina. This is a Cathy Creek. So far it's just a gravel road. Got the Jeep out today, seeing if I could get a little dirty, and we've been waterfall chasing. And so we're going to go down and found this little pull off at Cathy's Creek Road. Might be Cathy's Creek, I don't know, but we're going to see what it looks like. And I got my Nikon Z9 with a 24-70. We're going to take some long exposures of some small waterfalls. We haven't found anything big yet, but I'm going to make my way down here, and then we're going to see what we got. So I think this is the path. It looks like just a rain trail down through here, but we're going to see what we get. I'm going to have to go left or right here. We're going to go right. So there's a bridge right here that we drove over. There's my buddy Rich getting some long exposure shots. So I'm going to try to, luckily I brought my water boots. I'm going to try to, without falling, I'm going to try to walk on these rocks. Upchurch is getting behind me. I want you to just look at that though. That looks pretty cool. Without busting my tail. Kind of want to show you where I'm at. This is what I'm looking at. I'm going to do a long exposure of that waterfall and that moss. I just think it looks pretty cool. I'm real low with my tripod, and I'm shooting with a 24-70 Nikon Z9. I've got some Nisi filters on it, and I'm going to try different stops, a 1-stop, a 3-stop, maybe even a 5-stop, just to get that buttery waterfall effect. Let me take you to where my camera's at. You can kind of see what my camera sees. And I am at 1/6 of a second, f8, ISO 100. Here's my setup. And then I'll post that photo in just a little bit. I believe the sun is coming in, and it's going to be a little bit too bright over there where that water is coming across. You can see the sun. I'm just kind of waiting for the right moment. This is a very easy path to get to. Yeah, I really don't like that. We're going to darken that down a little bit. I'm going to do a 3-stop. Take a picture. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a 5-stop, just so that when I get home, throw these in the laptop, I can see what the difference is, see which one I like best. At 5 stops, it's giving me a 6-second shutter speed at f8. Right there's the picture. Not bad. I'm still not liking where that water is really flowing over there. Kind of moved my composition just a little bit. I'm more focused on some stuff right over in here, and I want to get all this right here. So right here is what my camera is looking at. I'm at 3 seconds, f8, ISO 100. Let's see what that looks like. So there's the picture. Clean that up a little bit. We're using that's actually 3 stops. And right now I'm just kind of looking at different compositions. Let's see Upchurch over there. He's actually cutting limbs and stuff down. They're in his shot. So we'll see I'll have to get an idea of what his looks like as well. Very peaceful here. It's about 12 o'clock. Normally I'd be worried about the sunspots coming through the clouds, coming through the tree. Coming through the trees. I'm not really worried about that right now because we are getting some hot spots, especially over here where the water's flowing real quick. But it is what it is. There again, I've changed my composition just a little bit. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I did stop down to looks like 2 stops of light. 1 1/3 second f8 ISO 100. Let's take that shot. Double focus again. See what that looks like. That actually looks very good. That water's real dreamy. Looks like 1 second. I mean, 1 stop of light really made a difference. Excuse me. Looks like 2 stops really made a difference. So I've tried a different composition. If you can see where my camera's pointing, I'm going to try to focus a little bit on this little spot right here. I like how that water comes down. I like how the green moss is over here on the side, on both sides. If I had a few more yellow leaves, I'd throw them over there. But let's take a picture of that. I'm at 1 1/3 second, f8 ISO 100, of course. That's the photo. Not bad. I really like the way that turned out. I'm going to go 3 stops of light. That's going to push my shutter speed up to about 5 seconds. There's my settings. Once again, I'm focused right in here. That's where my focus is at. Sun's going behind some clouds, so it's forcing us to use longer shutter speeds. And there's the picture. I kind of like that. So it's gotten real dark. The clouds, sun must have went behind some clouds. It's real dark, so it's forcing me to go with an 8-second shutter speed. Still at f8, still at ISO 100. And I'm going to turn this around, and I've kind of repositioned. I've raised my camera up just a little bit. I really want to get, let me turn this around. I really want to get more of up in this area, right up in here. And I may do a focus stack, whereas a focus stack is where I'm going to focus probably 3 shots, focus right here on this green moss. The second shot's going to be focused a little bit further up where that water starts to fall off those rocks. And then the third one I'm going to focus all the way back in the background. So foreground, midground, and background. And then in Lightroom or in Photoshop, I'll stack them together and see how they look. I really think this will look real good, especially with a 7 to 8 second shot. So I'll put it in the video. As always, thanks for watching.